Sairam to all of you. Welcome back to the study of atoms and molecules, where we have seen a couple of laws, Dalton's theory, mole concept. We have seen how to correlate between moles, mass and number of particles, Avogadro number. And having seen all these basic things, we have also seen what is empirical formula and what is molecular formula. So just to revise you about that, empirical formula is the smallest ratio where the atoms combine with each other, whereas molecular formula is the total number of atoms who are present so that the compound is stable. Now considering those basic concepts, now we are going to study about the chemical composition and formulae, where how do we derive at various formulas, what are the compositions and percentages we are going to see in this case. So basically, once we know what is molecular formula, what is empirical formula and all, a lot of questions start coming up now. Can you measure how much compound is there, how much percentage of elemental mass is present in a particular stable compound? So all those questions can be come across in these cases. How much carbon is present in 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide, now which essentially means that if you have taken carbon dioxide CO2, just know the masses that have been present here. Carbon atomic mass is 12, oxygen is 16, but 2 are there, 16 into 2 plus 12, this will be equal to 44 grams. Now please understand here that 44 gram is the overall mass of carbon dioxide. In that 44 gram, 12 gram is of carbon, 16 into 2, 32 grams is of oxygen. So what they are asking here, how much carbon is present in 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide? Can you measure it? Suppose we have prepared a substance, a particular compound where I know the percentages, 58.8%, 28.4%, 8.28% of nitrogen, hydrogen. When we know the composition of all these compounds, can we derive the empirical formula and molecular formula? Then, so having seen and studied about this mole concept and all, does it find any use in understanding and solving all these parts? And what is the percentage composition? So all these questions will now come up, where slowly we will try to study how best we can correlate these concepts which you have studied, so that we can get the answers for all these questions which are there. So moving further now, let us see how do we find out things. Now first up, we will see how do you find out the percentage composition. Now generally you know that the moment I have this word percentage, it means that it is something out of 100. Percentage, it is out of 100, no doubt. Sometimes you see percentages are been shown above 100 also, 120% profit and all that, but our general consideration of percentage is in terms of 100. So now if we know the formula of a particular compound, we can very easily find out what are the elements that are present. So what was the question given earlier part was, in carbon dioxide, how much is the percentage of carbon, how much is the percentage of oxygen? You can find it if you know the molecular formula, and along with the formula you should be aware of the mass, which is a basic concept that you have to know. And as an example, aluminium mass calculation is taken up here. So this is the ore that you get. Ores are those compounds, how you get the metals naturally from Earth's crust. This is called as bauxite, and aluminum oxide formula Al2O3. What you can understand in this is that 2 atoms of aluminium, 3 atoms of oxygen are present. Now if I want to know how much aluminium is present in this, what is the general way we consider? We consider the mass of aluminium in this, naturally 1 mole, because that is the standard one. This is 1 mole component. Mass of aluminium given by the overall molar mass of Al2O3. And how do you calculate molar mass of Al2O3? All that requires your basic knowledge about atomic number and mass number. So atomic number of aluminium is 13, mass is 27. So how do I find the mass? 2 into 27, because there are 2 atoms of aluminium. 3 oxygen atoms, 3 into 16. So if I just take about this calculation, this will be 54 plus 48 overall the mass will be 102 U. Atomic mass unit, unified mass is also what we call. So now what I understand is the overall mass of this compound is 102. In that 102, 54 gram is of aluminum, 48 gram is of oxygen. So how can I find out the mass of aluminum as such then? I can find it out. 54 gram of aluminum is present in 102 gram, which is the overall mass of aluminum oxide. Now if I want percentages, all I do is directly into 100. The final answer, this is a simple calculation which you can undertake by using a calculator or direct means. What is the point that has to be highlighted here, that has to be understood here is that if you want to find the percentage of a particular compound, here how much percentage of aluminum is present in a given amount of overall compound, this is the formula. The general formula is mass of an element in 1 mole of a compound divided by molar mass of the compound. If you are specially talking about getting aluminum from aluminum oxide, it is mass of aluminum in 1 mole divided by molar mass, and if you want percentage, it is nothing but multiplying the factor by 100. So to understand this part, this theoretical aspect here, let us see some practical aspects also here, where they are told ethanoic acid has a formula CH3COOH. What is the elemental analysis of ethanoic acid? What does this mean is, which are the elements present in this? So which are the elements? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen are the elements. The question that is asked is, what is the elemental analysis, meaning that they want to know how much percentage of carbon, how much percentage of hydrogen, how much percentage of oxygen is present. So for this, the very first thing that you have to do is, you have to first calculate the molar mass. How many carbons are you finding in the formula there, CH3COH? So study of these ethanoic acids and all, you will come across in organic chemistry over a period of time. For now, what we are concerned is the percentages. You have 2 carbon atoms, so I know the mass of carbon to be 12 into 2, plus I can find 2 oxygen atoms also, mass of oxygen is 16 into 2. Also there are 4 hydrogen atoms and mass of hydrogen is 1. It is not H2, it is H. So in total we have 4 hydrogens. So what is the total mass here? 12 into 2 is 24, 16 into 2 is 32, plus 4, this will come to overall count of 60 gram or 60 U, unified mass also you can take it. So the overall molar mass of this ethanoic acid is 60 grams. So what you have got already now is that you have got the molar mass of the compound that you wanted. What you want now is the percentage of the particular element which has been present. So how do you understand now? I have already made a note now that in total the carbon that is present is 12 into 2, which is 24. Hydrogen is 4. Whereas oxygen is 16 into 2, 32. And what is the overall mass that I have? It is 60. So if I want to find each and every percentage of these elements, what can I do? First, if I want to find percentage of carbon, so how do I take this up now? Mass of carbon in the particular compound, entire mass, not one single atom. In total there are 2, so total mass it will be 24 divided by overall mass, which is 60. And because we talk about percentages, it shall be into 100. Try to reduce the utilization of calculator so that your calculation abilities will improve. So 0 can be cancelled, 6 1, 6 4, so 4 into 10, this will be equal to 40%. So carbon percentage is found out to be 40. What about hydrogen? So percentage of hydrogen is equal to, the mass of hydrogen present is 4 divided by 60 into 100. Now once again, how do we go about these parts? We can cancel out this single 0, then it will be 4 into 10, 40, 40 divided by 6, 6 are 36. 6.5, above 6.5. So the percentage, if you can find out, it will be around 6.66%. This was about hydrogen. Similarly, can we calculate about oxygen in this case? What is the mass of oxygen that has been present here? Percentage of oxygen is equal to, mass of oxygen available is 32 divided by 60 into 100. Once again, let me get this parts out. Then I can also find 2 3s are 2 5s are, and then so 3 1s are, and this is around 10.6 because 33 will be the factor of 11. So this will be around say around 10.66 or so. So the overall percentage is expected to be around 53.34%. So this is how individually we can do analysis of each and every element which is being present in the cases. So since this was the first problem, I hope you have got a good idea about this parts, and let us take the second problem which is here. They have taken a compound calcium carbonate. Once again, so first thing what you have to do is find out the overall mass. First, what do we know? Calcium mass, we know it to be 40, atomic number 20, mass number 40. Carbon mass, we know it to be 12, and oxygen mass, we know it to be 16, but how many oxygens are there here? In total, there are 3. So 16 into 3 will be 48. What is the total mass now? The entire compound total mass, if you calculate this part, 40 plus 12 is 52, another 48 is exactly 100. Now, how do you calculate percentage then? Percentage of calcium will be equal to, mass of calcium is 40. What is the total mass? It's 100. And percentage is once again 100. So this calculation is pretty much simple, where 40% of this entire compound is present as calcium. So if you just see the compound, you can't determine that it is 40. You have to go for the mass of those particular compounds. Let's just take up carbon. Percentage of carbon in this case, 12 divided by overall mass to be 100 into 100. This will also be 12%. Now, if you want, you can calculate for oxygen separately, or the other way around, since only 3 are there and by percentage we know that it is always out of 100. So 100 minus these two will naturally give us the percentage of oxygen also. That is another way. Overall is 100, already 40% and 12% are recovered in calcium and carbon. Oxygen will definitely be 48%. Other way around, you can again take back the same calculation, which is 48 divided by 100 into 100. So this is how we can solve and obtain the corresponding percentage of elements that have been present in a particular compound. So since we have gone through these parts, let's just go to the introductory part which was shown here. How much carbon is present in 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide, whose molecular formula is CO2. Now if I have to correlate this part here, I have to again, if I take this working space as such, carbon mass is 12, oxygen mass is, because it is CO2, it will be 16 into 2, which is equal to 32. And what's the overall mass of carbon dioxide? It will be 32 plus 12, which will be equal to 44. Now what we understand here is that if I can just go back to this part here, how much carbon is present in 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide is what they are asking. I can understand by this calculation that in 44 gram of CO2, which I am actually seeing it here, in 44 gram I actually have 12 gram of carbon. In 44 gram, 12 gram of carbon is present. This is our basic knowledge which we have. What they are asking is how much carbon is present in 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide. What do you mean by 1 kilogram? It's nothing but 1000 gram of CO2. How much carbon is present? This is exactly the cross multiplication that you have employed many a time. So what you can do is, since this factor I can take it up as x. So x will be equal to 12 into 1000 divided by 44. This is the cross multiplication parts. 1000 into 12, 44 into x, and that has become the divisibility. So this is how you can find out the percentage compositions of various compounds in these type of examples. So this was the process just to correlate with the introductory part that we happen to have. Moving further now in these cases, where we will be seeing about the empirical formula determination. Now till now what happened was, we happened to have one formula and from that we got the percentage composition. Now it is going to be the reverse way. We will be knowing the percentage. We have to find out how the empirical formula of the compound is present in their cases. So here what happens is, a simple example like water is taken, where analysis says that it contains 11.11% of hydrogen and 88.89% of oxygen. So now what you have to do is, you have to find out the overall molecular formula and basically the empirical formula of these compounds. Now how do you find out is, suppose, and by percentage we know that it is out of 100 itself. This can be directly correlated to the mass of those elements which have been present. We know very well that mass of hydrogen, we can take it mass of hydrogen as 1, whereas mass of oxygen we can take it as 16U. So in this case what happens, they are told that hydrogen is 11.11%, this is hydrogen, whereas oxygen is 88.89%. Now if I divide the molar mass of these compounds, I will be getting the factor which can be correlated by ratio. So what is this? Mass of hydrogen, mass of oxygen. What is 11 by 1? This will again become 11.11, whereas that 88.89 divided by 16, 16 5 is 80, so it comes somewhere in between, so it will be around 5.5. So what is the ratio between hydrogen and oxygen? You can see that this is 11.11, this is 5.5. When I see the ratio, will it not be 2.1? So 11.11 is to 5.55, the overall ratio will be 2.1. That is why we have this formula of water H2O, which indicates that there are 2 atoms of hydrogen, 1 atom of oxygen. So no doubt we have come across this H2O many a times in our studies, but now we understand the calculative aspects of how do we arrive at this formula for water. So this was just an example which was taken to understand the determination of formula for water, and as such let us see a formula, an example of how do we get the corresponding formulas. We are going to calculate the empirical formula as well as molecular formula in this case. So let us start with the question here. Ethane contains, now you don't know what is the formula of ethane, so let us just go by the data that is given there. They are told that ethane contains 80% of carbon and hydrogen percentage is given to be 20%. Derive its empirical formula. So how do you derive its empirical formula? The first thing that you do is, you have to know their molar weights or the atomic weights of the compounds. We know carbon to be having a weight of 12, whereas hydrogen has a weight of 1U. So what is 80 divided by 12? 12 in the multiples, if you go, 12 6 is 72 of sorts, 12 7s will be 84, so 2/3 1/3 formulation. So this will be present around 6.66. A simple calculator division also you can do is 80 divided by 12. Now don't worry about the percentages, it was just given for you to tell you how much component is present, but for calculation we don't need to use that percentage. So 80 divided by 12 will be 6.66. What about here? 20 divided by 1 will be 20. Now the question is, what is the ratio? 6.66 is to 20. 6 3s are 18, 6.66 a little more. So can I take up the ratio as 1:3? Now when you write a ratio, you need not be exactly divisible. Even if it is a round figure, we do consider it. Now what do you mean by this 1:3 final formula? It means that for one carbon, 3 hydrogen atoms are present, and therefore empirical formula will be CH3. This is how we find out the empirical formula of the compounds. Similarly, they have asked the molecular formula. Now once you know the empirical formula, what is the mass of this empirical formula? Carbon is 12, hydrogen is 1:3 because there are 3 atoms. So 12 plus 3 will be equal to 15 gram. This is the empirical formula. But what is the mass that they are given there? 30 gram, which means that for one component of CH3, it was weighing 30 gram. So in this way, what I will write is CH3 overall 1 was weighing 15 gram. Then CH 3 n because I don't know how much it is, 30 gram. How much does it come across then? So I already know that the mass of CH3 is 15. So if it is 30 gram, it means that the formulation should be doubled. Therefore, the molecular formula will be C2H6. How did I get this C2H6? Because I knew very well that CH3 mass is 15 gram. The molar mass of the actual compound was 30 grams. So since it was half, if I double the molecule of this empirical formula, I am going to get its corresponding molecular formula. So this is how we understand the calculation to obtain empirical formula as well as molecular formula in these cases. So having seen many such parts, we have some questions here for you. For the compound Fe3O4, the molar mass of iron can be taken as 55.8 U. Please try to solve this part here. For the compound Fe3O4, calculate the percentage of Fe and O. Similarly, percentage composition of carbon in SrO3, sulfur in H2SO4. So these two calculations will determine the overall masses. So already you are aware that how do you find, say, a sulfur in this? You should first know the mass of sulfur, know the entire mass of this compound, and then the percentage can be mass of sulfur divided by mass of sulfuric acid into 100. These type of problems were already done and you can use the same concept for this. What are the empirical formula of substances having the same, molecular formula? Now in this case, what you have to understand is whichever is present in its simplest ratio, just leave it like that. If it is not present in their simplest ratio, you got to convert that. That is what is the difference between empirical and molecular formula. So we have one problem here. A compound is composed of atoms of only two elements. A simpler one is given, carbon and oxygen. If the compound contains 53.1% carbon, what is its empirical formula? Just to give you a review of it, if 53.1% is carbon, it means rest of the percentage is oxygen. Then how do you go about? 53.1 divided by 12, because 12 is the mass of carbon. Whatever is left over divided by 16. Why 16? Because the other element is oxygen. And then try to find out the empirical formula in this case. So this is how we study about the molecular formula and empirical formula and their corresponding calculations. Thank you. Sai Ram.